to have a conversation about where does the military start and where does the military end. When it comes, a lot of money pumped there. Parliament has severally tried to access it, to see what's happening, to play our oversight role, denied access. At one time, the then Minister of Health was denied access. So whenever I do raise them, she writes to the relevant ministries to say this issue was raised, please prepare a response. But it never comes through, because there's been very recent cases that I've talked about. There's a one Christopher Godi, also known as King Zale. This man was abducted on 21st April. Up to now. When was abducted on 21st April? Up to now. Where is he? Why is he not produced in court? Sam Mugumya was taken in August of last year. We saw videos recently of him in bad shape. Where is the man? If he's committed an offense, why not produce him in court? Mr. Speaker, I have a document to lay, but before I do, allow me to raise two quick issues of concern. One is health related. I've had the Minister of State for Health give us assurance again that Lubowa Hospital is going to be ready. That promise has been made several times, even by his predecessors. We have been looking forward to the launching of Lubowa Specialized Hospital, because there's been issues with that. I don't know whether it's a hospital or a construction site. A lot of money pumped there. Parliament has severally tried to access it, to see what's happening, to play our oversight role, denied access. At one time, the then Minister of Health was denied access. So we don't know what's happening with Lua Hospital. And maybe, again, through your office, Mr. Speaker, we need to pick interest and know what's happening. So the update is a good one that is going to be ready next year. But we are not going to wait for next year. It would be good that Parliament gets access so that we know the money that's appropriated there, what is it doing? Mr. Speaker, we have something called community health extension workers in this country. The Minister of Health knows about these people. These are salaried, parish-based cadre of frontline healthcare workers. They were established under a 2018 Ministry of Health policy to supervise and professionalize the village health team system. They do a lot of work there. They're like the foot soldiers of the Ministry of Health. And these people have reached out to us. A number of them have gone for a very long time without pay. And by the way, they earn a niggardly, I don't even know whether to call it a salary, maybe an allowance, of 150,000 shillings per month. That's what the ministry pays them. Firstly, I think that amount has got to be reviewed, given the times and the work that they do. But then they have been complaining they have not gotten this little niggardly allowance for a very long time. The Minister of Health has actually acknowledged in their communication as recently as April 2026, they acknowledged unresolved payment backlogs for these community health extension workers. I'm glad the Minister of Health is here. The country needs to be updated. These people need to be updated. They get little money. First of all, we are saying revise it. But number two, why is the little money not coming to them? And yet you expect them to do work down there. Mr. Speaker, the second and final issue is related to perhaps internal affairs. And I'm glad that the professor is here. Right Honorable Speaker, a few days ago, you did pledge that you're going to create time in the coming days for this House to discuss and debate issues of human rights and for us to have a conversation about those matters. We are looking forward to that, Mr. Speaker, because this country is ripe for an engagement in that regard. The way our elections do happen, our elections are violent, extremely violent. People are killed, many are maimed, others are in jail for donkey's years. These things have got to change. Others abducted, the likes of John Bosco Chibalama, 7 years. John Damulira, Kanata Muhammad, and a plethora of others from elections that are tumultuous. We also need to have a conversation about where does the military start and where does the military end when it comes to our democratic processes. So we are looking forward to that conversation, Mr. Speaker, because our country is hurting. and we cannot pretend that all is well. But Mr. Speaker, as we wait for that conversation, there's issues that I have raised on this floor a number of times. Government has yet to respond to them. Good enough, the government chief whip has been capturing these issues. Whenever I do raise them, she writes to the relevant ministries to say this issue was raised, please prepare a response, but it never comes through. Because there's been very recent cases that I've talked about. There's a one, Christopher Godi, also known as King Zale. This man was abducted on 21st April. Up to now, where is he? Why is he not produced in court? Sam Mugumya was taken in August of last year. We saw videos recently of him in bad shape. Where is the man? If he's committed an offense, why not produce him in court? And several others. There's another called Balisa William. That one was taken in February. And I raised those ones here. And there's been commitment to respond, but it has not come through. We wonder why. Mr. Speaker, yesterday I saw some leaders within the NRM talk about a gentleman called Mathew Bagonza. This is a staunch NRM supporter who I know personally, and I respect where he belongs. It's his right. But I also saw he was picked up, and people are asking, where is he? Why is he not produced in court? Now, Mathew Bagonza belongs to the NRM, but as a leader, it's also my responsibility to say, even though he's NRM, he should be accorded due process. Okay. So him and all these others, why are these people not produced in court? We have said severally that it is okay for the state to suspect anyone in this country at whichever level to have committed an offense. But the law says, you see, Article 28(3)(a) provides for the presumption of innocence. So that means you get somebody, take them to a gazetted detention facility, and that is police, within 48 hours, either release them on police bond or take them to court. Why don't we do these things?
I'm afraid you're preempting.
Those are the issues that I have. And Mr. Speaker, why I appreciated you for the debate you're planning to hold. We look forward to it because there's many historical issues. But these are recent matters that I have raised that have been captured. The government chief whip has written to the relevant ministries, but they are not responding. Yes. And I think it would be important that they do.
They're going to be caught up by the time.
So as I leave the stage, Mr. Speaker, allow me to lay the opposition response to the Charter of Fiscal Responsibility for financial year 2026-2027 to financial year 2030 to 2031. The Ministry of Finance laid theirs. As the opposition, it's not a must for us to lay, but we are duty-bound to we are duty-bound to give a response and to keep the government in check. So our hope is that what we are prepared will be looked into for the good of our country. Herein, we've captured issues of unemployment, our debt burden, corruption, etc., that need to be addressed if we are to hit our economic targets. I do lay on table. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. It is referred to the Committee on Budget, the Budget Committee, to review both of them. Item 5. The Health Minister, you'll appropriately respond when the Prime Minister has availed the opportunity within our time. Yes, item 5.
Item 5, Prime Minister's time.
Right Honourable Prime Minister. You are usually given 20 minutes on that one, but there was another one. You will do many things. Every time here today is nearly yours. But it's also, don't start that way.
Thank you so much, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker and members, I request that you allow me to present a statement of the succeeding, on the business of the succeeding week. I move under Rule 29(1) of our Rules of Procedure of Parliament of Uganda as a read of government business, because I'm required to make a statement in this House regarding the business of a succeeding week. I therefore submit the following business for the succeeding week, that is from 1st to 3rd September 2026. Right Honorable Speaker, a statement by the Minister of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities on the commemoration of the National World Tourism Day will be presented. We shall also get a statement from the Minister of Health on the status of the implementation of health component under the Uganda Intergovernmental Fiscal Transfers Program, EU Gift 2. A statement will also be presented by the Minister of Local Government on the progress of the Parish Development Model implementation countrywide and the revised implementation guidelines. That Honorable Speaker, I beg to submit.
Let the record capture.
Right Honorable Speaker,
That
members.
was under item 4. Now
Yes.
you are going to item 5.
Yes, Right Honorable Speaker and members, as you are aware, I am always asked questions both in written and I will also expect other questions.
Procedure, Honorable Tebandeke.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for the generosity. My procedure matter is for our own benefit. It's under Rule 43, particularly Sub-Rule 7 and 8 of our Rules of Procedure. Right Honorable Speaker, I appreciate the Prime Minister's efforts to answer our questions. But some of our questions get lost within the way from my own custody to clerk and the Prime Minister. To avoid that, Sub-Rule 8 of the same clearly states that the clerk shall publish a list of all questions and the response made every month. This one will also benefit our Prime Minister to make assessment of her performance. I don't know whether it is procedurally right, by your guidance, that the clerk is subdue to this rule. Thank you.
The clerk is directed to comply. Prime Minister.
Right Honorable Speaker and members, under the written questions, I got one from Honorable Kumu Gabriel, MP Okoro Gabriel. He says that Jango Koro Seed Secondary School is in Jango Koro, in Okoro, Zombo District, but also serves Asuma and Aka sub-counties and Padea town councils because they don't have seed schools yet. However, students from Aka sub-county have to cross Nyagak River at a point called Nyagak Pa Kiro, and when it floods, students cannot go to school. And his prayer, Right Honorable Speaker, is that government should construct a bridge at this point. His second point and prayer is that government should build seed schools in the above sub-counties that don't have seed schools. The third one is that engineers from the Ministry of Works and Transport visited the site. Can the Right Honorable Prime Minister provide an update to this House on their findings? Right Honorable Speaker and members, my response is that it is government policy to establish public school in every sub-county, and for sub-counties without a public secondary school, government has put in place deliberate interventions. Right Honorable Speaker and members, through the Uganda Intergovernmental Fiscal Transfer Program, for results, UGIFT, and the Uganda Secondary Schools Expansion Project, USEP, government has established a total of 349 seed secondary schools countrywide and 259 under UGIFT and 90 under USEP. Honorable Speaker and members, Zombo District has directly benefited from both interventions, receiving 4 seed secondary schools in total, namely Atiak Seed Secondary School, Kango Seed Secondary School, Paida Seed Secondary School under UGIFT, and Alangi Secondary School under USEP. Following these interventions, our mapping indicates that 4 administrative units in Zombo District still remain without a public school, namely Asuma Sub-County, Aka Sub-County, Padea Sub-County,